I used this analogy. I thought, when you break up with a person, it's like you're done, you're broken up.
Yeah.
But if we're friends,
Yeah.
we don't ever have to break up. Like, it's like we might not talk for 6 months. That's okay, or whatever. But if we're in a committed relationship, then it's like, okay, there has to either be, we're either together or we're not. There's none of this like, just don't talk to your girlfriend for 6 months, then talk to her this. It's like one or the other, right? And so this makes it so you never have to break up with a brand. There's no mental choice. Do I cancel? Do I not cancel? It's just, you get nudged. Yes, I'll take my next protein, on the way. No breakup, no commitment. And the customer theoretically is there forever.
Hello. It's Jeremy Gryder, the e-commerce redneck, and I am so excited today. We have an incredible OG of the Shopify world, Jay Myers from Bold Commerce. Jay, if you could please, without further ado, tell us a little bit more about yourself and what's going on at Bold.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. This is, like when you look at your calendar in the day and it's like, it's full of meetings. And sometimes I wake up in the morning and it's like, oh, it's a packed day. And this little block on the calendar today, I was very excited for because I get to relax and just talk about something I love. So I'm very excited for this. I won't spend too much time on my background, but I'm one of the founders at Bold Commerce, and we've, been with Shopify since 2012. We have a suite of apps. We're doing some really neat things. And it's just some stuff that we've been seeing in the last couple of years. Really excited to get into. But my personal story is I was an online store owner since 1998. Grew up building e-commerce brands. And actually, I was on. We were just talking about BigCommerce just before this. Back in, I want to say like 2007-ish, when they were like the platform. And then Shopify came around. I moved one of my brands onto Shopify 2009. But been doing this my whole life. This is I live and breathe e-commerce. So. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man. It's really exciting. And, I keep hearing about, this new product that you have, and I keep hearing it from other people. I've heard people talking about it, and it's always interesting when you're out at events and people are talking about some product and they don't work for you,
Yeah, that's amazing.
So, because there's obviously something going on there. So, Bold has had subscriptions, like y'all have moved and transitioned with how things have changed on Shopify and got beaten and bruised up a little bit here and there. Yeah. But where are y'all at now? What's going on with this rePete thing?
Thanks for asking. You're bang on. Like it's been interesting. So we launched subscriptions on Shopify in 2014, and it was actually at the time there was no way to do subscriptions on Shopify. We had this little agency side of our business where we did custom work for some brands, and we kept getting brands asking, hey, can you build subscriptions for us? And like there was no way to do it. And the only way we actually did it is we would build custom checkouts and then vault the credit cards, and that was the only way to do it. But then eventually we thought, well, maybe we could turn this into an app. And the only way to do it was actually if you had to not use Shopify's checkout, because Shopify had no concept of vaulting a credit card. And so we built our own checkout. There was a Shopify app, and then when you would go to checkout, it would come to our checkout, and it kind of looked like Shopify's checkout, but it was actually two different checkouts. Yeah. And so for years it was only us, and Recharge was around the same time. And so for about 6 years, it was just the two of us. Like there's no other subscription app, because it was very hard to do. Running a checkout is a lot more than you think. Like your PCI compliance and security and shipping and taxes and just everything like that goes on in there. So we did that. And then obviously 2020, maybe listeners know, maybe they don't know, but Shopify built the ability to tokenize cards in their own checkout, and now slowly moved all the subscription apps back into Shopify's checkout. So if you're doing subscriptions on Shopify right now, they're going through Shopify's checkout. They all actually have to. They like mandated that. There was I think we got like 3 years to slowly move everyone back over. It was quite a process, but now everyone is going through Shopify's checkout. And what's interesting is like there was the glory days of subscriptions. Like I remember like 2015, 16, like if you just had subscriptions, that was a competitive advantage. Like I remember when Chewy launched subscriptions for pet food, it was revolutionary. It was like you get your dog food on autopilot. Now, I would challenge anyone to try to find a pet store that doesn't have subscriptions. Like it's just
Right.
it's table stakes. Like you have to have a subscription offering. It's just become it's more of a like a billing and a shipping decision. It's just some people want a subscription, some people don't, but you have to have it. It's not a competitive advantage anymore. It's like if I want
It's
to
a
subscribe
part
to
of
my
it.
it's a part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a part of it.
Yeah.
But for a while, it was a huge advantage, and we saw brands just crushing it. And from like 2015 through to I'd say like 2020, like it was really the glory days of subscriptions. Now, there
Hmm.
are still brands crushing it with subscriptions, but we started
Right.
to see more and more customers, so like the end customers, getting what we call subscription fatigue. And
Mm.
you've probably got that in your life where
Yeah.
you have too many subscriptions, or you get one and it's not coming at the right time, and you cancel it, but you don't just cancel that one. You get frustrated and you pull out your credit card statement and you cancel 5 other subscriptions and you do a purge. And that's subscription fatigue, like where the subscription is actually more mental fatigue to manage than it is to just like order it when you need it. And
Right.
back in 2000, actually the exact stat is in 2015, the average consumer had 2.4 subscriptions. That was it. Last year, the average consumer had 13.1. Like, I think
Wow.
a lot of people, it's way higher. I'm personally over 50. Like, if you start thinking about like your streaming services and everything, like it's like, if you go to upload your credit card statement to ChatGPT and say, how many things am I subscribed to? Like, it's a lot, but this is like
I've got
everyone
like
across.
4 or 5 just for podcasting. So
Totally, right? Like, yeah. So it's become mental load, and you've probably experienced this in your life. My story is a couple years ago. My story is I've got a bit of a fun experience that led me into this, and I had a protein powder subscription, and protein powder comes in big jugs. I didn't get through my whole protein powder, and another one came, and it took up a lot of space in the pantry. And my wife got a little bit upset with me. She's like, Jay, like, why do you have 2 protein powders? I was like, oh, I didn't pause my subscription or whatever. And then I didn't get through that one. And then the next month, another one came. And then I ended up having 3 of these big protein tubs in my counter, and it took the whole thing. And at that point, my wife like lost her mind. She's like, cancel your damn
she had the
subscription.
fatigue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I canceled my subscription. It was with Naked Nutrition, which is a great protein brand. I actually love their stuff. Clean protein, everything about it's good. I had no issue with the product at all, but I canceled the subscription because I had too much on my shelf. I ended up working my way through the protein, and then the next week I was at Costco and I saw some protein powder and I just bought it. And now that brand lost me as a customer for life. Like I haven't gone back actually and re-subscribed. And the thing that really sucks is they didn't lose me because of any issue with their product. Their marketing was great. Everything was good, but the subscription was actually what caused me to leave as a customer. And so about 2 years ago, I started to think, the concept of the jobs to be done theory. It's like this principle of like everything does a job, and like
Right.
the shirt you're wearing, it does a job. It tells a story. One job is it might keep you warm, makes you feel comfortable, but it also might say like, I'm a relaxed guy, or I'm a business guy, or I'm whatever. Like it does a job, right? And subscriptions, the job that they were supposed to do was to make people's life easy, hassle-free, frictionless, put it on autopilot, never think about it again. But it's actually become a little bit of the opposite, where you have to manage, pause, log in, change it every month. And it was actually harder to manage the subscription than it was for me to just order it when I needed it. And so I started to think there has to be a better way. And the idea that kind of emerged from that was, what if we could predict when a customer needs a reorder, nudge them to reorder with one click, and it just ships their next order. That was the original idea.
Right.
And so we started building this close to 2 years ago. We spent about 6 months just perfecting like the algorithm first. Then of course AI started to become more and more powerful, and so that got layered in. And the whole concept of rePete, and it's PETE. So
I love that.
rePete's like a person, he's a character. We actually debated between refill, like PHIL, and rePete, but we thought Pete sounded
I
more
like
friendly.
rePete. My great grandfather was Petey Weedy, is what we
There
called
we
him. So I
go.
like Pete.
And Phil refill founded like it was for like prescriptions or something. Like it was like So the whole concept is when you install it, it analyzes all of your store's orders. It finds products that have a high, like generally get reordered. It looks for intervals, then it starts looking at customers, and it starts predicting upcoming times that they would reorder. Then it layers in AI. We call it kind of like an AI gut check, where like sometimes an algorithm can be wrong. Like you might, I don't know, the example I often use is you might order a couch, and then 3 months later you buy another couch for your cabin or lake house, and then maybe your daughter goes to college and you buy her a couch. Well, that doesn't
Right.
mean you should get nudged to reorder a couch every 3 months.
Right.
That would be a bad prediction. And so we strip all those out as well too. But after it figures all this out, it predicts when you need your next product. And then through whether it's push, browser push, on-site, SMS, email, dynamic email blocks, the channels are like ever growing and endless. It nudges you and it just says like, hey, Jeremy, is it time for more protein? Yes. Click here. You click, confirm, shipped. There's one confirmation screen where you see the address.
So are you ever subscribed really to it then, or is it just kind of nudging you when you? Oh, that's so cool.
There's nothing to.
They're kind of getting the effect without having to have the commitment.
There's nothing to cancel. And so there's 3, and it's interesting. I did a keynote at Sub Summit a couple weeks ago, and like the 3 things that I think are the future of subscription, like buying again, is we've gone from like fixed schedules that you have to manage. I think the future is 3 things. It's predicted, and with AI and with tools, like we're going to be able to really buy individual customer. Like you might need your protein powder every 41 days, someone else every 27. So by customer, predicted, and it's also adaptive. So depending on usage, people slow down and speed up on usage as well too, and they move persona types. Like sometimes people start as a consistent buyer of one thing of protein, but then after a period of time, they move into what we have a concept of like a bulk buyer. So like I'm a good use case of this. I finally found the greens supplement. I guess not like supplements, the greens, whatever that I like. I finally found the ones I like. Now I buy them 6 at a time because I get a bit of a discount, and I don't buy them once over and over. So I'm like a bulk buyer, but I'm still a repeat buyer. And that's a different persona type. And customers are fluid and they move back and forth. But the future is predicted, adaptive, and it's optional. So to your point, right, that you just said, it's not locked in. And the fact that it's optional means there's nothing to ever cancel. And it's actually why customers stay around longer.
So you don't get your feelings hurt as much with this one.
You know what? I used this analogy. I thought, when you break up with a person, it's like you're done. You're broken up.
Yeah.
But if we're friends, we don't ever have to break up. Like it's like we might not talk for 6 months. That's okay or whatever. But if we're in a committed relationship, then it's like, okay, there has to we're either together or we're not. There's none of this like just don't talk to your girlfriend for 6 months, then talk to her this. It's like one or the other, right? And so this makes it so you never have to break up with a brand. There's no mental choice. Do I cancel? Do I not cancel? It's just you get nudged. Yes, I'll take my next protein on the way. No breakup, no commitment. And the customer theoretically is there forever. Like they never leave now we do have flows where like we're not against subscriptions by any means. I think subscriptions serve a segment, and we actually have a flow where after a certain amount of time, if someone, so say after like 6 orders, rePete has figured out that you need your protein powder every 47 days. So it might say, hey, Jeremy, it looks like you're needing your protein powder every 47 days. Would you like to flip that onto a subscription and save 5% more? And we can turn it into a subscription. And maybe now, because you've reordered 6 times in a row, you feel more comfortable turning it into a subscription, but you would have never clicked that subscribe button in the beginning. You know what I mean?
Right.
So the thing, when you go to cancel a subscription and there's always like a little survey, like, why are you canceling it?
Right.
So it's like, I have too much. I'm going on vacation. I don't need it anymore or whatever it is. We have on our subscription app, we have the same thing. And I think this is pretty much universal, but we see that roughly less than 20% of people who cancel are not canceling it because they don't need the product anymore. I have too much, I have too little, I'm going to be away for a while. And with stores using Bolt subscriptions, 74% of people that cancel a subscription buy the product again, which means they still want the product. Like, they're not giving up. It's not like I'm never going to have protein powder again. I just canceled my subscription. And so we also have this flow where when someone cancels a subscription with Shopify, anyway, this works, we can pick up the subscription, or we can pick up that they canceled it using Shopify Flow and then turn them into a on-demand reorder. So knowing that
Wow.
roughly 80% of people who cancel your coffee, protein, supplements, whatever subscription it is, they might love the product. They might have no issue with the product at all. Just it was piling up in their shelves or something, and they didn't want to take the time to pause it.
I had a product like this that I used like religiously called Lucky Rabbit, and it was a tattoo balm. And it's the coolest stuff, you know, because it really like protects your skin and makes it like gives it moisture. It looks great. It just kept coming though. And certain times a year, my skin wouldn't be as dry as I wouldn't need as much, you know? So it's like it would change with it. And something like this, I guarantee you they have lost a lot of customers that they wouldn't have lost if they had something like this. So. And you're right. I've went back and bought it before, you know, so, but I never subscribed again. So
it's like you just said, like the product is good. It works, everything about it, but it's not a fixed cadence product, right? Which a lot of stuff falls into. Like, the only thing, if you have a pill bottle and there's 30 pills in that bottle, like a 30-day subscription makes a lot of sense. But a lot of stuff like you scoop, or it's a cream, or you drink, or it's powder, like people don't use it the same, you know, toothpaste, shampoo, you name it, deodorant, like nobody uses it the same amount. And that's one of the reasons why people don't subscribe or commit, is they don't know how, like, if I'm buying shampoo, like, I don't actually know. I couldn't tell you how often I order it. I kind of just wait till I run out and then I go buy some, right? So, but yeah, that's, you know, and there is, I think it's interesting. There's a lot of brands that are missing out big time. There's customers like who will just never subscribe. Like, and I know people like this. I actually have a friend who, she like full stop quit subscriptions. She got so frustrated. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, she had like some subscription she couldn't cancel it, got frustrated. And she's like, I'm never subscribing again to anything. And so she just doesn't subscribe. And there's a lot of people like that. They just don't subscribe.
Yeah.
They'll buy your product over and over. And so rePete is for, we call them your sometimes customers. So customers who are,
well, I feel like it would keep somebody committed to your brand though, but loosely, you know. Keep them coming back when they need it, but not overwhelming them. And that's important. You know, if you overwhelm your customers, you can guarantee they're going to hit unsubscribe and get away from you as quickly as possible. So,
yep. And what's interesting is, have you heard of Built Bar? They're a protein bar. They're in Costco, Walmart. They're quite big. They're one of they've been using it. We went live with it March 4th. They installed it March 3rd. They wanted literally the night before.
Wow.
So it's been not even 3 months yet, but they're seeing incredible results. They're actually they were one of the case studies that we had at Sub Summit. So one of the guys that runs Built, he messaged our support team, and he mentioned that they're now seeing 4 times more new repeat revenue coming through repeat, PET, than they are through subscriptions. And so
that's insane.
It's important. That's all net new. Like, it doesn't touch subscribers. Like, if someone's on a subscription, it leaves them alone. That's great. Like, that's awesome if they're on subscription. This is only for people who are buying their protein bars and just buying a box when they needed. And we've increased their repeat revenue. We're increasing it at a rate 4 times faster than subscription. So I emailed him and I said, his name is Jeff, and he's public about this because we're doing case study on it. I was like, Jeff, I heard you mention to our support team that you're now 4xing repeat revenue than subscriptions with repeat. I said, can we use this as a quote at Sub Summit and put it on a slide?
No joke.
And he emailed back and he said, yes, you absolutely can. And he goes, and I'll give you another quote you can use. We're already seeing higher AOV, and it looks like LTV is trending higher for customers that are reordering it than customers who are subscribing. And this was something that I didn't even like, we didn't plan for that. I didn't know about it. So I said, like, what do you mean? Like, so he's like, because you always, everyone will say, subscribers are more valuable, their LTV is higher, which generally is true. But what his theory is, if you go to Built, you don't have to go to now, but built.com, BUILT, they have like 50 different flavors of protein bars. They got like sour, gummy, watermelon, peach, mango, all the
Man,
chocolate,
sounds
cookies and
delicious.
cream.
Yeah.
They've got like a cult like following, but they find that when someone is on a subscription, well, this was his theory, and they get the same flavor over and over, they hit flavor fatigue and they actually get tired. And so the customers that keep coming back but trying different flavors actually are more valuable long term. They buy more
Wow.
and they come back longer than people who subscribe to one flavor, get it for 4 or 5 months, and then decide they're tired of that flavor. So there's some kind of other benefits that we're seeing that we hadn't thought of even in the beginning, other than just getting people to come back. They're also trying different flavors too. And so that also is just kind of a nice positive side effect of it. So
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't quite understand the proposition that repeat brings to the table, but this sounds like one of the coolest new things out there to use. I mean, I'm always looking for things that can give me an advantage, my customers an advantage, and I truly think this concept and the way you're going about it, the psychology of the product,
mhm,
inject some of that AI, but you have a solid product already there,
mhm.
and create something that is less pushy and more effective. I think
Yeah.
it's brilliant,
Well,
and
thank
it's
you.
so much better to have somebody say something to you that's been educated by your buying
Yes.
and hey, you should, you want to get this right now. Well, yeah, I do, but why? Because you took the time with your app to figure it out and suggest the right kind of things. I think that's brilliant. That's so brilliant. I
Yeah.
did not realize that's what it did exactly. So that's even more exciting. And I'm
Amazing.
telling you, Jay, I'm hearing about this at Shopify meetups and stuff like that. I'm hearing people talk about it. So that's
That's
really
awesome.
exciting. And what a different
So
angle. Yeah. How did Sub Summit react? Like, what were people saying after they were probably like, oh, what do we do? This is like so far ahead of what we're doing already.
it's interesting. There's three kind of co-founders of Sub Summit.
Uh-huh.
Chris, John, and Paul. And John, one of them, he came up to me. We had a booth, and he came up to me
Uh-huh.
because we were doing a keynote on Thursday, and he came up on Wednesday, and he said, "Jay, your talk is the number one RSVP'd talk because at shows in the app you can kind of like say which talk you're going to, and you
That's
just
cool.
like it creates your schedule or your calendar. And so it was the number one registered, and then the number one attended talk, which it's so first of all, that shows me that people know this is a problem and they experience it themselves. Like the fact that I don't, as a person who runs a subscription company, like I don't personally subscribe to protein powder and coffee anymore. That's a problem. That means subscriptions are not serving the world they're not serving everybody the way they promised. So people know that, they're aware of that. And then I gotta tell you, like, so this is my fifth Sub Summit in a row. First one was 2001, was virtual, but then I've been to everyone since, and we've never had more interest than at any other Sub Summit than this one. Like our booth was everyone gets it, and as soon as you have like 5 minutes to just kind of explain it, we had large brands at our booth that were like, "Sign me up now," and like. As a software vendor, like that, when you go to a trade show, that's not usually something that happens. It's like you make the small talk, and then it's like, okay, well, we'll touch base next week, and maybe schedule a demo, and we'll follow up. I probably can't say their names yet. Well, anyways, large health and wellness brands
Okay.
that I met at the booth, and I kind of had so we came home Friday, and Monday was a holiday. I'm up in Canada. Monday was a holiday. So I didn't start reaching out to people I had met until Tuesday. And two of these like large brands that came by, I kind of in my head said, oh, it'd be awesome if they were using repeats. I was going to
Yeah,
reach
of
out on Tuesday.
course.
I opened up my email to start emailing. They had both already reached out to me and they're like, Jay, when can we get set up? Like we're pumped, we're ready to go. And I said, I was like, they hadn't actually even seen. I'm like, so I said to one of them, I was like, do you want a demo? We can hop on a call. I'll show you the back end, show you how it works. Cause it's all AI based. You give it guides like on your brand and your tone of voice. You can tell it how to talk. You set rules if you want to allow rePete to give discounts after a certain number of reorders to encourage people to keep coming back. It finds what we call convertible repeats, where it's like one product, they buy one product, but it recommends a different product because it's not always the same product every time. If there's a logical next
Well,
whatever.
y'all have also
Like,
done upsells before, so you've got that down too, that kind of
there is a
crossover
smart
movement. Yeah.
100%. That's a big part of it. Yeah. So anyways, this one person, I said, do you want a demo? And he goes, well, yeah, I guess I probably should. I don't even know if that's necessary, but like, let's do the demo. So we scheduled the demo for Thursday last week. And by the time I got on the call with him, he's like, okay, I already got it installed. What do I got to do here just to flip it on? I was like, this is like, it's a celebrity brand and they're a big brand. I'm like, okay, well, let's just
Wow.
slow down a little bit. Like, I'm not used to that. I'm used to like a slow sales cycle. People are like,
Right.
let's go. Cause I didn't mention this, but
It's so different, you
and the
know?
way it's 100% free unless it makes a sale. So the way we have priced it is there's no contracts, there's no sign up for a year. We cover everything. Like there's no SMS fees, there's no email fees, there's no push, nothing. If rePete makes a sale, there's only a fee just on that. And it ranges from 1% to 3%. Depending if we call it a direct sale. So if it nudges someone and they order within 24 hours, it's 3% only on that reorderable product and 1% if it's within 7 days. And on day 8, nothing. But if you have it installed, if you logged in tomorrow and rePete sent 10,000 text messages and it didn't make a sale, it's zero. There's no fees. Like it's truly so that what a lot of brands say is like, well, I guess like it can't hurt to try, right? Like, let's see. And so far, I think we are at 100% of people that have installed it are still using it. Like nobody has uninstalled it yet.
That's hard
Because
to do, brother.
they're seeing the value.
Yeah.
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 So it's exciting.
Well, the juice is worth the squeeze, apparently. They love it. I cannot believe that I just can't believe that I haven't seen anything like this before. I haven't even thought of it this way. And so what I'm excited about is, my primary function is usually as a growth consultant. I build some websites and stuff, but mostly as a growth consultant. And there's a few apps here and there that I've heard about that are like, hey, you got to use it. Klaviyo, obviously, to me, is one of those apps. It's a no-brainer. You got to use Klaviyo. There's other apps out there that I highly recommend, but I have a feeling this is going to be one of those as well that's going to, need to be in my arsenal because, the way I approach growth a lot of times is, man, when you first start looking at a store, it could be the tech stack. It can be it could be the front end. It could be the back end platform you're using, not really with Shopify as much, but like with other platforms, it could be the problem, and so, it's getting that tech stack correct,
Yeah.
and getting those things in place. And to me, there's just a few things that are no brainers. And that price point is pretty juicy for somebody that really has experienced that kind of subscription fatigue. So,
yeah. Well, and the way we look at it is a rePete customer is a rePete customer, whether they want to subscribe,
right.
whether they want to just come back and buy over and over. And we've gotten a little bit too, I think, focused on everyone needs to be on a subscription. And like, that's awesome. If they're on a subscription, we're all for that. The truth is that the majority of people who actually buy products more than once are not on a subscription. And it's most of even some, like we've had over 100,000 Shopify brands use our subscription app. And when we go in and we look at their analytics, even like dog food companies who you would think pretty much everyone should be on a subscription, it's dog food. But if we go in their analytics and we run a report on all customers who have ordered more than once, and then so generally pet food companies have like a 70 to 80% repeat customer rate, meaning returning customer rate. And then if we look, we say we run the same query of all customers who have ordered more than once, that that don't have an active subscription contract in Shopify. So stripping out the people on a subscription, most brands with replenishable products, their subscriptions represent about 20% of the recurring customers. So you have 70 to 80% of your customers buy over and over, but of that 70, only about 20% commit to a subscription. The rest, they just buy when they want it, and hopefully they come back and buy it from you. But if you're not at their fingertips,
this
they buy
kind
it
of
somewhere
reminds
else.
me of like when we would do like cold calling and stuff in some of these SaaS companies I've been in. And, you know, you kind of have those people that you put, you know, in your leads that you would put into that file where it's like, hey, I got to come back and keep touch points with this.
Yeah.
And this is like really automating those touch points to keep them buying at the highest rate possible, because every store is different. You know, I always told people conversion rate, they go, what should my conversion rate be? And that's like, I don't know what your I have a better chance of guessing your age or weight than I do your conversion rate, you know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's different for everybody, but
100%.
what is universal is you want to maximize it. Whatever it is, you got to get as much as you can out of it. And that's really what I see rePete as, is it's that product that helps you to get that final mile out of your customers. And then also keep the kind of attachment that you get when subscriptions go well, but without the commitment. That's brilliant, man.
Yeah.
I'm impressed, Jay.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
That means a lot.
I have a little app crush now.
It's been fun. It's been incredible seeing, actually, coincidentally, that person that I just mentioned that installed it before I even got on the call. He's already referred, just about half an hour before this. We have this concept in the app. We call them golden tickets, where you can give a golden ticket to another merchant, and it gives them, there is no fee to the app. The app is completely free unless it makes a sale, but you can give a credit to someone. So we let people give $100 credit, which would translate to roughly like $8,000 to $9,000. Like, it's only a 1% fee. So whatever your average amount is, but like, it covers the first $100 in fees. And so anyways, he's already referred someone. He's pumped about it. I think for me, the thing is that I love about it so much is I know how hard it is to run an e-commerce business. Like, I started my first one when I was 18 in 1998. I grew up in a family business. We sold archery supplies. I was like really big into bow hunting and archery. I was the Canadian national archery champion for like 4 years in a row. And
that's dope.
My dad and I started, and my brother, he remortgaged his house, quit his job, and we started an archery store when I was 13. And then when I was 18, started selling the bows and arrows and stuff online. Eventually it grew, and then I ran it as a separate business. It kind of became my business, and it's hard. Like, I actually built a business. So this was like early 2000s, that even though it was making a lot of sales, I never ended up really selling it for anything, because it was all one-time orders. It wasn't, your value is a multiple of EBITDA. And a lot of brands listening right now, if they're just selling, if you just have customers that come one time and buy and never come back, you sadly don't have a very valuable business. And the odds of you selling that one day are very, very low, if not impossible. If you have a business that has a high repeat purchase rate, your value is multiples higher, not just like a little bit. Like, we're talking like 10x higher versus if it's just one-time orders. So I know how hard merchants work running and building a business. And so, like, at the end of the day, if you have a business that's worth a couple $100,000 or millions, like, it makes your time and your life's work more worth it. And so anything you can do to increase the repeat order rate on your store, whether it's subscription or customers coming back, one day when someone hopefully maybe wants to acquire or invest or in your brand, that's going to be the first thing they look at. They're going to go straight to your Shopify analytics and say, let's how healthy is this business?
Right. And nowadays they can do the AI in there and find out anything they want. So
totally.
Yeah.
You can't hide anything under the sheets
Not
if you
anymore.
have a unhealthy business. So I love that aspect of it, that I've seen brands sell their stores for 5-6 times their annual revenue, and I've seen brands sell their stores for 0.3 like 30% of EBITDA, which is like drastically less. So like same total sales, same product line, but one has a high repeat customer rate and one doesn't. So to
Right.
me, that's my internal motivation. What I'm excited about is the impact it
That
has
is
on the
cool.
long term of brands.
And I think it's so cool too. You know, I mean, who is it? The founder of Shopify, was it Joel? Right? Is that his name?
Well, there's Toby, but there was
Toby,
three. There was a
yes,
free through. Okay,
Toby.
yeah,
He had the snowboard store or whatever, I guess,
yeah,
and
yeah,
I love that story because really it's the story of a guy taking his need and making something for others out of it. But it you know, the evolving of that system to where it is now with
yeah,
things like this working on top of it. First of all, that we talked about the checkout, and I will say the meanest checkout on the market now has got to be, Shopify, as far as checkouts go. But man, when you can lap other tools and layers to that, and, things like I interviewed the guy from Recamaze, and they help you get AI readiness and stuff. So you can get found. Well, you get that customer to the site. Well, you got to convert them. So you win
yeah,
them, and then eventually you got to get them coming back. It's all part of that long cycle. And if you've got, if you're using cutting edge tools like this, you're going to have better results. You're going to get better results. And it's one of those things. It's so easy with some of these things nowadays. Why not?
yeah. Well, and the bottom line is I see three big things happening right now. One, and you're probably seeing this with brands you're working with, is most brands I talk to, they're paying at least double, sometimes more to customer acquisition costs through ads than they were 4 or 5 years ago. So
Right.
the cost to acquire a customer is drastically higher than it was a few years ago. Google, like search results or like traffic from search, I don't know. We're personally at Bold, we're down about 40%. Like everyone I talk to is down between 40 to 60%. Like it's because people aren't going to websites anymore. They're just going to ChatGPT and whatever AI tool they use. And Google actually even reported that 61, this was a few months ago, it's probably higher now, but 61% of all searches no longer end up in a click to a website. Because like, if you're looking for a store's phone number, it shows it, their address, their hours of operation, reviews, photos, location. Now they've got the AI oversight, or what's it called? AI overview at the top there. And so it's so hard to get someone to actually end up on your website. And then the third thing is agentic commerce is kind of here. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Like it's here, but it's like not mainstream yet. But it's very realistic to say that within a short period of time, people will just be going to tools like ChatGPT and saying, "I'm looking for a good white hat," and
Right.
one that fits big heads or something. And ChatGPT will recommend it. Here's 3 options. Would you buy it? Open the checkout, and you'll never even visit the website. So it costs
Yeah.
more money to get people to your store. People aren't finding it through search. And there's a real world in the next few years where people are buying through AI and not even coming to your site at all. So
Right.
when you finally do get a customer, like you need to do everything you can to turn them into a repeat customer coming back.
Right.
You don't get to see the logo of the company. You don't get to see their about us page and their founder story video. You just see the product. So like you hardly build a relationship with that brand at all. And that's why it's just so important when you do get someone, whether you can get them on a subscription, but of course there's a lot of customers that will never subscribe. Then this
Right.
is helps with that, right? So
I'm scared of subscriptions sometimes nowadays because I had so many of them at one time. I swear, I probably had 70 at one time.
you're in the same camp as a lot of people, and it's actually the exact numbers are 29% of people don't know everything they're subscribed to.
That's insane.
I was doing a bunch of research before Sub Summit. Like they just have they don't even know. Like if I think I fall into that camp too. Like if you said what's everything you're subscribed to, I think
It'd be hard to name.
I'd have to pull out my bank statement or my credit card statement and start going through it. I don't know. Like I think that's like a lot of us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Jay, man, it has been phenomenal having you on today. Is there anything
Likewise.
else you wanted to kind of leave with the audience or tell the audience before we go?
Well, I'm very grateful that you gave me this opportunity to talk about what we're working on. So I want to say thank you for hosting this show and for everything you do. It's amazing. If anyone is interested in trying rePete, like I said, like the way we priced it is the way I would want to pay for it if I was a merchant.
Right.
Like if it works and it makes me money, I'll pay. But if not, like my biggest thing I said was I would never want to log into an app and see that it sent 10,000 text messages and I got a $700 bill and not one sale, because rePete does all the work. Like you don't have to create it. It's all conversational. And so the reason why we made it this way is so that if it works, it gets paid. If not, it doesn't. So it's a fun thing to just try and see if it works. And so if anyone's interested in trying, actually, I'll give you a special link that any of your listeners can get their first,
Excellent.
if it does make sales, which I'm pretty confident it will, the first $300 in fees completely free. So I'll give a special link to you that you can give to anyone who's interested.
We'll put that on there. Awesome. Thank you.
And rePete, repete.me is where you can learn more. So
Excellent. Well, thank you so much. I was really excited to get you on here. You're definitely one of the OGs in the industry, and it's always cool to get insight from people that have some great personal perspective too. I didn't know that about the archery thing, and I love that. I love that that's a part of your story. That's interesting, and it makes sense why you're doing what you're doing now. So with the rePete. So thank you very much. We'll see you soon.
Pleasure was all mine.